Hi everybody, so today I've got my Sephora sale and Cult Beauty sale haul to show you. I wanted to show you everything I've picked up. Some of these are backups. This is everything I've picked up in here, which I'll be showing you. Some of them are backups, some of them are new products, and some of them are just new to me products. So some of them I'm actually going to try on now, which is why I don't have a full face on. So I'm actually going to start with those. But I just wanted to show you everything I've picked up that I thought was a good opportunity in the sales with these great discounts we've had for me to save a bit of money really, but for also for you to see which products I tend to buy again, which ones are repeats, which ones are my true favourites, and also show you the ones I'll be trying out so you'll know which sort of products I'll be testing, so you'll see them coming up in my end of month review. So I really hope that this will be fun. There's something that they've actually gifted, a free bag with all sorts of bits in, which I can't wait to look at. I haven't even opened it yet, so we can look at that one together, a nice unboxing together. So I'm really looking forward to doing all of this with you, and I do hope you'll enjoy it. And if you're new here, my name is Hannah, I'm 48, I'm not a professional, I'm just somebody who really loves makeup and beauty. And here on my channel, I review the latest products, show you my favourite looks and give you any beauty news you might be interested in. If you think you'd enjoy this, please do subscribe to my channel, it is ever so helpful to me. Lots of people are watching without subscribing, so if you could, that would be ever so helpful. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so very much for coming back to my channel. You know how much I appreciate you being here, I really do. Anyway, let's get straight into this video. Before I dive into the basket there full of all the goodies, I've taken a couple out because they're the ones I want to start with, because I want my makeup to be complete really before we start looking at everything I'm not trying on today. So the first thing I got, which is completely new to me, is this from KOSAS. KOSAS is something that's taken quite a long time to get to us here in the UK, so I'm not that familiar with the brand. I've just tried the odd few things, and this one I've heard so much about. It always comes up in one of the best-selling lists on Sephora. This is the DreamBeam Comfy Smooth Sunscreen. This has got an SPF 30. I believe the US version has SPF 40. So this says on the back that it's got peptides, ceramides, hyaluronic acid and allantoin, I don't even know what that is, I do apologise. It says clean, comfy, mineral sunscreen that moisturises, smooths and creates the dreamiest makeup base. And the packaging's quite cool. It opens up like a door here, so you can read all of the ingredients and information, almost like a book. That's quite different. And here is the bottle. So I've got my skincare on, literally just toner and vitamin C and some under eye cream as always. And now I'm going to try this. Well, I better give it a good shake first actually, shouldn't I? So it says you can wear this alone if you want to just wear it as an SPF, which is fairly obvious I suppose, or this is the perfect makeup base. So let's just test that out. So there's the top of it. Let me just put some onto the back of my hand. And it does have a bit of colour to it, so I don't know if that's going to show up on my skin. Please excuse the state of my hands, by the way. I had a bit of a self-tanning nightmare the other day, which will actually pop up and look even worse in another video I've already recorded. This instantly makes me think it's not something I'd want to wear on its own because it's got quite a almost tacky finish. It does feel quite moisturising. I do have an SPF which is very moisturising from Mary and May, which I just repeat buy, and I love it so much that I'd be surprised if anything ever beat it for me. But I do use a primer on top of that, so this is going to be my primer and SPF today, which does feel like maybe I should add more because I'm used to having that extra layer of hydration, but at the same time this does feel very much like I've added quite a lot of skincare as well, so quite a, yeah, very sort of, not very tacky, but I'm very aware of the sort of skincare feel, which makes me think there's no way, like I said, I could wear this as a standalone. I would have to put powder on, but then like I said, like I have said many times on my videos, I think it's almost a phobia of mine to have any sort of feeling of product on my face. I can't bear it. I'll just get this underneath my eyes as well and take it on the eyelids and down the neck. You see, even down the neck I have to powder all this area if it continues to feel this tacky. It feels quite oily. I think that's the problem. It feels oily, I'm not that keen on the feel of it. I feel like I really need to wash my hands now. But I do think that my skin looks fabulous. I really like the sort of shine it's given me. So let's just see how everything goes on top of it. But I don't love that sort of oily sensation from it. But as long as I can conceal that with powder and it's not going to argue, that's one thing. If it feels oily, will it now argue with my foundation? But anyway, let's just wait and see. So the next thing I want to show you is I picked up a new shade in the Huda Beauty Faux Filler. So I've been really enjoying lately the shade Pink Pomelo. I've only recently actually got this. I've heard loads of people talk about it and just never tried it. But I thought I'd pick up Cherry Blossom. So I picked that one up from Sephora. And I'm going to try them side by side so I can see the difference. Now I don't get an awful lot of darkness, but I do get some here, which is what I use it for. And I've always found that the peachy shades work better for me. But I also find that these new cherry sort of powders and things work really well for me as well. So you don't need a lot of this, I've noticed. So just a tiny little dot there where I've got darkness. So that's the Peach Pomelo, the one I've been using for a while. And then I'm using the Nikki LaRose N16 brush. And I'm just going to sort of tap this here over the area where I've got a bit of darkness there. Maybe I put too little actually, maybe I need a tiny bit more. Oops, that wasn't a tiny bit, that was a lot. I do notice with this one that it really is almost orange on me, but it's fine. When I go in with my concealer and everything, it all balances out. So it's an underpainting concept more than anything. So I do look a little bit orange here, but it really does help to cancel out the darkness. But I want to see now how Cherry Blossom just might compare. So let's get this one open. Doesn't smell of cherries. Pretty much almost like a paint smell. That looks like it could be a very good colour for me actually. So I'm using the same brush, just using the other side. Oh yeah, I like this one, you know, because look how warm the peach one is on my skin tone. Like I said, I do have to go in with concealer. Well, I always go in anyway, but the concealer sort of fixes that. But this one I can wear instantly, I think, without wanting to fix it. Yeah, that's definitely the better shade for me, you know. I think I might be switching to this Cherry Blossom. Again, I'll just put a tiny bit more there. Oh yeah, that's definitely much better for my skin tone, the Cherry Blossom, isn't it? But it'll be interesting to see when I go in with concealer and everything, is this the side that still looks better? Because this sort of shade can really cancel out those purples, whereas the pink, I don't know if it'll do as good a job. So we'll see when I add everything else in. So what I'll do now is I'll go on and do my foundation, my contour. I don't know if I'm doing a cream bronzer, I can't remember what I was doing today, but anyway, whatever I'm doing cream based will be going on, including concealer, and then I'll come back to show you the third product that I picked up in the sale. And this is something that's been around for a while, I believe, the DANESSA MYRICKS Evolution Powder Priming Smoothing Setting Face Powder, and this one is in the shade Pink, and I've heard a lot of people recommend this to the point where I thought I need to try it. So I'd like to try it specifically for under the eyes. I don't know if I'll do the rest of my face. I might do. So I'll be back to show you that. And I've also got, I've just remembered, a liquid blush. So we can look at that one as well. So I'll see you when I've done all that. So I've gone in with all of my base products and I've used the Dolce & Gabbana Cushion Foundation, which I've been testing since I got it and absolutely loving. And I have to say it went on beautifully on top of the KOSAS what's it called again? DreamBeam. But I do feel like an oil slick. Look at my skin. It's not just a bit glowy. It is oil slicky almost. So I feel like I'm going to need a rather huge amount of powder. So I'm not sure I'm a fan of this. I don't like the way my skin feels. I was going to say I like the way it looks. I don't like the sort of oily finish either. But I love the way that my foundation went on. So I think it worked very well from that point of view. But I think if you need superbly dry skin, and I have dry skin, and it's just a bit too much for me. So have you tried this and what do you think of it? I'm not overly convinced. I can probably still use it up as long as the powder will sit on top of it okay. Anyway, I'm going to carry on now. Before I set, I forgot to add that I picked up another shade in the Milk Makeup Jelly Blush. So this was a really gimmicky product that a lot of people just weren't that interested in. I got it purely for the gimmick because I love playing around with products that are just different. So I got this expecting to tell you all I hated it, and I actually ended up putting it in one of my monthly favourites, telling you all how much I really liked it. So I thought I'll try another shade. So I picked up the shade Chill. So here is the bottle. You do need to be careful with this one because it stains, so you can't put this one on the back of your hand first because it really stains. And I don't know if this shade will be too much for me. I'll just get the cap off. And if you don't know this, it really is quite literally a jelly. And if I put my finger on it now, it will literally bend. But I don't really want to do that. I've got my scissors here. I'll do it with that. There, see? It's like a wobbly jelly. That's why I think it's almost made because it's going to be good for camera. It's great for making videos on TikTok and everything else with. But it genuinely is a really nice product. But if I'd touched it with my finger then, I would have had a red fingertip for the rest of the day. That's how strong it is. So I've got my Mario F4 brush, something I didn't pick a backup of and I should have, and I'm kicking myself now. So I'm really hoping it's available in the next Sephora sale because I love this. I don't just want a backup, I'd actually like to have 2 or 3 so I can just have them all on my desk and just use different ones for different things all at the same time because that's how much I love it. But anyway, I'm going to risk putting this on the jelly and hopefully not staining it too much. I'm hoping that my makeup brush cleaner will get that out after, so fingers crossed for that. But I'm not going to swipe it on, I'm just going to take it on the brush and then tap it on. And this sort of formula, you do need to be quite quick with it, but it's very easy to sink in once you've got a sort of wet base, so before you've sat. But this colour will last me all day. So this is just one of those things, very similar to the one I tried recently from Dolce & Gabbana, the one that's pH colour changing. Very similar idea, apart from this one isn't colour changing, in that it's really good to put underneath before you add your powders. So if your powders fade a bit, you've still got that little pop of rosiness underneath, and that's what I really like this product for. And you can see there that doing it this way, I've seen people saying they struggle because they swipe it on and then they don't have much time. I think if you're putting it on top of creams, they just work really nicely. I think this colour is really quite pretty, quite a cheerful shade for the summer as well. You can also put it on your lips, which I won't do today because I'm going to try a lipstick on at the end that I've picked up. And I know that this will stay on my lips for hours, so it will really affect the look of the lipstick I want to show you. So I'm going to just put it on the cheeks, but can you just see how easy and beautiful that is? I need to be careful not to put too much because you can also see that it's very buildable, which I think was one of the things that surprised me about this. Is you'd expect something like this to just not really produce much pigment, but it really does. So you need to be careful on that point, from that point of view. But using a brush, I think it's incredibly easy, really easy. And because I'm going in with powders, I don't really need to be too fussy about how I've done it, but I think it just sort of melts into the makeup anyway, and you automatically have softened edges. I think it's gorgeous. And I really like this new shade, so there we go. I'd quite happily go back and try another shade. I really like it. So I also love the packaging with these. I think they're really cute. Good one for travel, I suppose, but I'm not sure if the jelly would be considered liquid. Probably would, wouldn't it? So something to think about if you're taking it on the plane rather than putting it in with all the cargo. Anyway, let's get now onto setting. So I've got all of my base on. So let's try this powder here from DANESSA MYRICKS. So the Evolution powder, this is pink, like I said. Says there's 11 grams of this. I'll just get the seal here off. A nice easy seal, which makes a change because I find with these powders they're a nightmare to get the seals off. Now you can see the powder inside. It looks very fine actually, very finely milled, which is really good news. I don't know if this one has talc in it because I don't know how new it is. The first ingredient in this is cornstarch and then silica and then talc. So it does have talc, which might explain why it's smooth. And talc is something I'm more than happy to use. I know many of you might not agree with that, but I do prefer talc. So I'm using the Nikki LaRose N14 brush. I just pat down my concealer. And hopefully you can see as well the corrector, the way the corrector is looking. Now I've added concealer. And I think, to be honest, it's hard to say which side is better. So before I add powder, do you think there's one side where my darkness is more obvious? This is the side where I used the Peach Pomelo, and then this is the side here where I used the new Cherry Blossom one. New to me, anyway. Is there a side you think looks better? Maybe I'll see it when I look back at this video, but looking here, I think they both look the same, to be honest. What do you think? Anyway, let's go in with this powder. I'll just make sure I don't have too much on the brush. Maybe I've got too little actually, never mind too much. No, that's gone on very, very, very fine. Just to go over the lid. Oh yeah, that is very smooth, isn't it? Can see why people rave about this one. Oh, that is so smooth. Oh, that is beautiful actually. And a little bit of a brightening quality, but not massive, I'd say. But the smoothness of it is quite something. I need to go in with my concealer brush a bit more by here, I think, just before I add it. And then do the other side. I think because this isn't too brightening, I will go on and do the rest of my face. So I'm going to just carry on using this brush for now, just to go around the T-zone area. I must say I can't wait to set it so I can get rid of that oily feeling, and I will stop shining as much as I am now, because at the moment it's still quite crazy from that KOSAS SPF. You can tell it's talc because it's flying everywhere. Also, quite a lot comes out when you just tap this net in here. You see there? But I'm going to now use my BK Beauty 105 brush, which I've started using again instead of a puff for the rest of my face. I'm preferring with the new powders, but I don't know if that's because they're talc free and they're different. So maybe with this one a puff would have been better, but can you see all the talc? That's the only thing with talc, because it does tend to fly up in your face more. This is looking fabulous. And I've told you all, I've found my holy grail powder, which is the YSL. I finally found my replacement for the Givenchy. But this has to be very, very close, if not as good as. I think I'm going to have to do a side by side, even though I thought I'd finished my powder comparisons, but I think at some point I need to do a side by side with the pink YSL. That looks absolutely stunning. It's just completely invisible. It's blurring. It's a lovely colour on my skin tone. Oh, I love that. Oh, and the stickiness is gone already, which is very good, because something with the new powders I'm noticing, the talc-free ones, I need to use a lot more product to try and get rid of that tacky feeling that you get from, well, from most products, let's be honest. I don't like any sensation of cream on my face, so once I've added my foundation and all my cream products, I do like to use quite a bit of powder. But I'm noticing with the new powders I do need to use loads, and this one straight away I needed a lot less and it's already gone. My skin felt very tacky before I started. That is beautiful. That is absolutely gorgeous. Why have I taken this long to try this from DANESSA MYRICKS? What do you think? Love it. So I think that's it in terms of makeup that I'm going to show you today. I will show you a lipstick and I'm going to show you a setting spray. So I'll tell you what, I'll go off and do... No, I'm wrong. I was going to say I'll go off and do the rest of my makeup. I have a powder blush, so I'll show you that first before I go off and do my eyes. But I don't have eye products I'm trying on today, even though I did pick one up. if I go into this basket here, I do actually have a few blushes, so let me just dig those out. So I picked up two that I won't use today from NUDESTIX. So one of those is their Rosy Posy Matte All Over Face Blush colour. So I picked this one up because sitting on my desk here is the Bare Back from the same line, and this has become one of my absolute favourite blushes. It has stayed on my desk and I use it all the time. It's the perfect shade for me, but it goes on beautifully on top of powders, and it goes on beautifully on top of cream products. It's just stunning. I love it. I love the formula, I love the shade. And this one is a cool pink as well, Rosy Posy, so I thought I would pick this one up. These ones come with the brushes on the end, which I never use, but maybe could be useful in travel. So I wanted to try this, and I won't try it today, but I will let you know at some point how I'm getting on with it. But I'll just show you the shade. So there we go. I've still got quite a bit of that DANESSA MYRICKS powder there on the side of my hand. And I also picked up a highlighter, which I suppose I could try today. I'll see what the colour's like, so I think it's quite a strong colour. So I picked up the Nudies Glow All Over Face Highlight colour, and I've got this one in the shade Eyebrow. I don't know if this was a collab because it's got a signature on the top. Maybe you know more than I do if you're a fan of NUDESTIX, but anyway, I've never tried I have tried one highlighter, that's not true. And the reason I said I might not try it today is I thought this could be a glowy blush. So I'm going to see just how much pigment it's got. If it's got a lot of pigment, I might skip it. Yeah, this is going to be a glowy blush, so I will skip this today. But look at it. Isn't that beautiful? So that's going to be a glowy blush for me, and that's exactly what I got it for, even though these two could work quite nicely together. So I will definitely play around with those, and I'll let you know how I'm getting on. I'm definitely looking forward to trying those out. And if you don't know NUDESTIX, they also come with these tins, which I love, but I never know what to do with them. So each one comes in this tin. They're very sort of solid packaging, but I would never keep them in the tin because it's just too bulky. And I always think I need to find a purpose for these because they're too nice to throw away. I said to my son the other day, is there anything like tiny you'd like to store in them? So I might have to have a think about what I can do with those. Any ideas? Let me know. But I feel like they shouldn't be thrown out. I know I could recycle them, but anyway, I think they should be repurposed somehow. So any ideas, feel free to suggest them. So I picked up a powder blush that might have been around for years and years and years. I have no idea. But somebody asked me to try the Estee Lauder blushes, and Estee Lauder is a brand I'm not very familiar with. I did recently get their concealer. I've tried their foundation in the past. I've tried the odd product from them. I'm not really familiar with their makeup in all honesty. So I did see a shade. Here's the box that it comes in. I did see a shade that I liked, so I'm going to try that one on now. This is their Pure Colour Envy Sculpting Blush, and the packaging is very bulky actually, very fancy looking. So let's have a look inside. I picked up the shade Rebellious Rose. I think there's a plastic cover there. So there it is, and it's coming with the brush. Very good stand-up mirror there. It does feel really big for a blush, this. I'm not complaining about that. So what brush shall I use? I think I will use, I'm not sure if I've shown you this, but I recently got the Wayne Goss #1 blush brush. So I'll use that one because that's a really nice brush. And tap into Restless Rose. I don't know what sort of, I've obviously got quite a bit of pink on underneath from the milk, like I told you I would. Even with the powder on top, you can see it's really staying there. So I don't need a lot of blush. So this is very much a topper really for what's underneath. I didn't get much on the brush, and that's given me plenty of pigment. In fact, I wouldn't want to go back for more. That is a lot of pigment for me. I'll take some into the eye and then above. But it's blending out very nicely, very smooth formula. And that is a pretty shade, isn't it? I do feel like I need to calm it down a little though. Quite surprised by the amount of pigment I did get from that actually. Definitely a matte finish, which I'm not mad with. I do like a matte finish, and then I'll add a highlighter to give a bit of glow. Not that NUDESTIX one today, because then I'll have 3 shades of pink on my cheeks, and that would be a little bit too much, I think. I need a clear highlighter today, I think. So I'll probably go in with my Hindash, which I love to use. I think this side looks better because I got less on the brush. This side I picked up a little bit too much product. That's very nice. It's gone on very, very easily. Very easy formula. So there's Restless Rose. That is very pretty, isn't it? It's just this side that looks a bit crazy because of the amount of colour, but I've got my Charlotte Tilbury here, which again, this is another product that hasn't left my desk since getting it, mostly because of the powder, the airbrush powder in this sort of pink shade, which is just so good now at taking to calm things down. So I'm going to take it around the edges of the blush, but I'm also going to calm it down by putting it on top. See straight away how it's just calmed that down. And on this side I'll just take it around the edges to soften the edges slightly. I don't need to calm it down on this side. So that's the last of the makeup I'm actually trying on today, apart from the lipstick and setting spray. So I'll go off camera, complete the rest of my makeup, and then we'll be back to look at those, and then look at everything else that I bought in the sale. So I've gone on with the rest of my makeup, and now I want to show you a lipstick, which wasn't actually picked up in the sale, but I picked it up at the same time. And it's another one from the Tom Ford, the new collection. And I actually had a £100 voucher for Selfridges, so I used that to get it. And I also got the Black Diamond backup. If you know me, you know I use Black Diamond all the time. And I'm just worried that if it stops being sold or becomes unavailable everywhere, I will panic. So I picked up a backup of the Black Diamond, my beloved Black Diamond from the Soleil collection, which I'm not even going to open. I wanted to keep it as preserved as possible for when I need it. So just wanted to let you know that that was one of the things I picked up, not in the sale. It wasn't available from Sephora UK or Cult Beauty at the time, but had it been, I could have easily done that, but I used the voucher, so it didn't cost me anything, which is great. So anyway, I did pick up another one of these from Tom Ford, the Soleil Ultra Shine Lip Colour, and this shade is Rose Gleam. This is a very pretty shade. I love the one I picked up with when I did my full review of this collection, but the one I picked up was more of a brown sort of goldy colour to match everything that I was trying on. So I wanted to get a pink, and look at that. Isn't that stunning? So let's put it on. I love how hydrating these are. They are gorgeous. Look at that colour. Look at it. Oh, that is beautiful. This formula from Tom Ford is so special. It's like a very hydrating lip balm, but it's still got the pigment of a lipstick, and it's got the Ultra Shine, which reminds me a little bit of my favourite Fenty, the Gloss Bomb Sticks. Not quite as much of a gloss finish, but it has that triple property where it's giving you all 3 in 1, which I love. So we're getting pigment as well, because there's so many products out there that give us that shine and give us the lip balm quality, but they don't give us the pigment. This gives us everything it promises in the title it gives. So isn't that beautiful? Rose Gleam. So there we go. Last thing to put on my face is a setting spray. Here is the Fenty Beauty setting spray, which has been out for a little while. It's still pretty new. I didn't pick it up because I love my Mario setting spray. I use it all the time, and I've got a backup of this, so I just feel I don't really want to test any. I did get the HUDA one to test because that had claims of actually blurring, so I wanted to check that, but otherwise I don't bother getting setting sprays. But I've just heard this one recommended to me way too many times, and I thought, well, I'm going to have to because I love Fenty. So here is the box, and here is the bottle, which is really nice actually. Is it ice metal, is it? Yeah, I really like that. I like the colour of it. I like the look of it. Very nice. So what are the claims of this? Makeup extending setting spray. I think what I should do is I should put some, maybe I'll try it with the blush, shall I? I'll put the blush that I put on my face, oops. I'll put that on the back of my hand, and I'm going to then put the setting spray over it to see if it sets down, and we can look at that at the end of the video. I'll give it time. So there's the blush on the back of my hand. and I'll spray some. So there we go, it's gone on, and I will just leave it. But I'm now going to set all of my makeup with this spray. Not quite as fine as the Mario, very refreshing, reasonably fine though. That's about it for me. I was pressing very lightly on the spray, so I wasn't getting a full spray. Not really picking up any fragrance, settling down without looking like it's moving anything. I can't tell you anything other than that at the moment. I didn't give it a good shake up though, did I? Oh, maybe I should have. Hopefully that wasn't a mistake. I don't think I did shake it up. Anyway, we'll see how this looks anyway, so we can see what the longevity is like. And hopefully that will give you some information about the product. But I will be including these in end of month, probably end of May, because these are coming to me now so late at the end of April, so I can't really put them in an end of April review. But that's it for the things I'm actually trying on. I'll just now go through the basket and show you the other things I picked up. So I picked this up from AVEENO. This is a daily moisturising yogurt body wash, apricot and honey scented for normal to dry skin. I've never tried AVEENO body products, shower gel type products. I've tried creams, I haven't tried body wash. And I love the fact that this says it's got yogurt in it. It's made with soothing oat and Greek yogurt. I mean, that just really, really draws me in. And with an apricot scent, so, oh gosh, that smells lovely. So I'm looking forward to trying that. And I love milky textures, so very much looking forward to trying that one out. And then if I look at mine, I've tried to put a list here so I can go through things in order of sort of similar products. I've picked up a backup of the Living Proof Perfect Hair Day High Shine Gloss. So this is my second. I literally finished my tube this week. I've used this every day, every week, sorry. When I wash my hair, I only wash my hair once a week, and I use this every single time, and I love it. It really does give me a gloss, and it does really tame down frizz, so I love this. So I got a backup of that in the sale. And I did get my other absolute favourites. I've already got a backup of this, but I just thought I might as well get another two. And that is the Colour Wow Dream Coat Supernatural Spray, which I use every single time I wash my hair. I put this on when my hair is still damp, and then I dry my hair using my Dyson Air Straight. Or if I'm curling my hair, I still use this because it's just so good at taming down frizz. It's the best product on the market for me. I absolutely love it. And I checked actually, it's still 23% off on Sephora at the moment. So everything I'm showing you today's linked below if you wanted to check it out, but this is still reduced. So you can still get that. And then two skincare products that are actually going to be a new addition to my routine. So I've got the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow PHA and BHA Pore-Tight Toner. Now the reason I got this one is I've been using the Tatcha toner, the one that comes in the green bottle, and that's been my perfect toner. I use it every evening, even though I use Dermatica, so that's got my tretinoin in, and you shouldn't in theory mix them, but it seems to work really well for me. So I've been putting my toner on before I put my Dermatica. I do actually put a hyaluronic acid on after the toner, hyaluronic acid serum, then I go in with my Dermatica, which has the tretinoin. So that's my evening routine. But anyway, the Tatcha toner in the green bottle is no longer available here in the UK. So I went on ChatGPT and I asked which product out there has the same ingredients, and this was the closest match. So I love Glow Recipe, so I'm going to switch to this one, and that's why I got that one. And I thought while I was getting that, I might as well try a new vitamin C under eye cream, because I haven't tried a new one for a while. I've been using the same one from Rosy Beauty for a long time, which I do love, but it's quite expensive and I get through it really quickly. So I thought I'd try a different one. So this is the Guava Vitamin C Bright Eye Gel Cream from Glow Recipe. So when I run out of my ROC, which won't be very long, I will start using this. So if I get on well with these two, I will definitely update you on those as well. Another hair product, which will be something new to introduce to my hair routine, I got the INKEY List Salicylic Acid Exfoliating Scalp Treatment. So I've never actually done scalp treatments. I've done things like scalp oils to help. I use lots of things at the moment to help with my hair growth, because my hair is thinning a lot around here. So I'm using all sorts of things to help with hair growth and scalp health. but I've never actually done an exfoliating product. And I thought, especially when I've been trying to curl my hair lately, I'm using more products, so you get more build-up in the scalp. So I think it's, because I only wash my hair once a week, I don't get greasy hair. I've got very dry hair, so I only need to wash it once a week. But it does mean that over that week I'm picking up more build-up of product if I'm curling my hair. If I'm straightening, I don't tend to go in with more product. I just, in the evening, add lots of different things for treatments for hair growth. But anyway, I thought this would be a really good way to start my wash. It says this is best for oily, itchy, flaky scalps. Now, I don't have any of those issues, but I just wanted to try something that would help to really exfoliate the scalp, and this one was recommended to me, so maybe not the ideal one for me with my hair type, but anyway, I'm going to give it a go and I will let you know how I'm getting on with that one. And now for the most pricey thing I got in the sale, and this is from Cult Beauty. I ummed and ahed. You won't believe how much time I spent arguing with myself over whether to try this or not, but I did do it in the end. This is the La Prairie concealer and foundation in one. This is the Skin Caviar, it's called, and this cost £220. So Cult Beauty were doing 20% off, but 25% off when you spent over 100. But for some reason, even though this took it over 100, it stayed at 20%. So that was why I started arguing, oh, shall I still skip it? So I've never wanted to pay the full price for this. I'll just show you how this looks coming out of the packaging. So it's a crazy price, but the reason I did it is because I've just seen so many people who tend to like similar products to me saying they love it, and I thought if it becomes one of my holy grail products, then it would be worth the purchase, I suppose, because I could dip into it for my special event, and it can be my special event. At the moment, I'd say it's the Tom Ford Architecture is my special event, and is this going to replace it? I don't know. But, and it does come with concealer, but it's still very pricey. So it comes with this separate box here, and then that has this little puff, and then it's got a stand. You've probably seen this before because plenty of people have reviewed it. It comes with this stand, which I believe has a mirror. Yeah, so you can look in the little mirror. You can stand the foundation in it, and it comes with this little brush, which you can put in the side there. I'm not going to take it all out and set it up now. And in the top of here, there is the concealer. So there's the concealer. And one of the reasons I argued with myself so much about this as well was because of trying to get the right shade match. So I spent a ridiculous amount of time reading up on what people thought were the right tones for my skin tone. So I literally went over and over and over it until I decided the shade that was basically recommended to me the most for my skin tone, that works with my predominantly cool undertones. I didn't want something that was going to be too orange, because when it costs this much, the last thing I want is for it to be too orange. And I am enjoying getting foundations that suit cool tones, but at the same time I didn't want it to be too pink. And there's only 15 shades I think in this, so you really are quite limited. But the shade I've gone for in the end is called Porcelain Blush, which is the NC10. And looking at it in the bottle, it does look like it should be okay. I'll have to make it okay, won't I? But I didn't add this into this video because I think I'll probably do just a video exclusively for this to show you. Because one of the things I found when I was trying to work out my skin tone match is I couldn't find a single video with this actual shade. So maybe it'd be quite useful to people with my skin tone if I put a review out showing how this shade might or might not work on my skin tone. So I think I will do a video, so look out for that. I will test it soon. I'm looking forward to trying it, and please work for me, because I have really argued with myself about spending that money. It is so much, isn't it? I'm trying to put it all back in the box so I can get it out and properly show it to you in a full review. One makeup product I forgot to mention, I picked up another Merit brow product. This is their ultra fine brow product. I really like this one. It launched at the start of the year. My problem with this is I whizzed through it in about a month. It doesn't last very long, so that's why I waited for the sale. This is called the Sheer Gel Pencil, 1990. This is the tip on this Merit brush. You can see why I whizzed through it, but look at it. I think it's got to be the finest nib I know that Benefit came out with a really fine one, but I think this one's the most fine, and I love it for that. And that's why I whizzed through it last time. So I didn't replace it when I got through it last time because I had a few others, and I'm always trying different eyebrow products, but I love this. So I've also got it in a darker shade because since using it I've dyed my hair, so I'm using a darker shade. So I've got the dark brown, I think, or medium brown, I can't remember. Does it say on? Oh no, light brown. I think I was using the taupe or something like that before. Anyway, I'm going to leave that as a backup though because I've got lots to work through at the moment, but definitely looking forward to using that one again. The last thing I've got to show you was this, which is a gift with purchase filled full of goodies from Sephora. So I thought we'd look at this one together just to see what I got. I think I must have had to have spent a certain amount to have got this, but Sephora often do this. I've managed to pick up, oops, I've managed to pick up lots of nice products to try in the past from these, and some of them are quite good sizes. So for instance, Bioderma Ultra Soothing Balm repairs and restores anti-itching for dry, irritated sensitive skin. That's a good size, that's a good start. And then we have Schwarzkopf Blonde Bond Repair Purple Mask. Well, that's really good because I'm using purple masks all the time at the moment, so that's definitely something I'll be trying. Very impressed with this so far. There's so much in here. Look, it's packed. And then we have Sol de Janeiro number 62. I love Sol de Janeiro. I love all of them. What else? Oh, the Way Leave-In Conditioner. Gosh, these really are good ones, aren't they? Murad Invisacar Resurfacing Treatment. Okay, so for scar treatment, I'm not sure if that would work for me, but maybe I could gift that one. Then we've got Nest Madagascar Vanilla. Oh, this must be a perfume. So this is the box. This is a small perfume. Honestly, it's like, I don't know if they put all the stocking fillers that they didn't manage to get rid of all into this basket. I've got it for free, so you really can't complain. So yeah, it's a little perfume bottle. These are really nice for travel as well. When you get these minis, great for travel. Another mini here, hair oil. I do like to use hair oil from Fable and Main. Again, a mini, so good for travel. And then another mini, which is Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist. Well, you've already seen I love the Watermelon Glow range, so perfect. Oh, that's so cool though that it's a mini. I could use that on the plane. I always like, is that what it is? Is it a face mist? I presume that's what it is. I'm always looking for a mist on the plane that's not too big. Definitely keeping that one. Huda Beauty Easy Bake Setting Spray. Oh, the mini. I've got a mini of these already. It came free with purchase, but now I've got two. So there we go, a mini setting spray. This is so cool. I'm really happy with these. And the bigger one here from the Beauty Works 10-in-1 Miracle Spray, which funnily enough, I've just bought the big one of this when I started curling my hair and using the Dyson Airwrap. So this is one that's got 10-in-1 benefits for when you're styling your hair. So again, a mini version, which is very useful. And then Elemis, oh that's handy, Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm, my #1 cleansing balm, travel size, fabulous. I had one of these last year and I took it on holiday recently, and actually it took me 2 holidays to use it up, so that was really good. And we've got Moroccan oil. Oh gosh, I've had this one before as well. I think I've still got it behind me because I use this for holidays. This is the Frizz Control Spray. Really good for flyaways, this one. Again, travel size. And one more product left. This is a tiny one. This is KOSAS Eyebrow. Gosh, this is the tiniest little box. Oh wow, this is the cutest thing ever. Oh my god, look at that. Eyebrow. Tiny. I've never tried KOSAS Brow, so I'll definitely give that one a go. And that's it. But this bag in itself is very nice. It's got this print inside. Good size travel bag. Has it got, oh, and it's got a section there at the front as well. Gosh, isn't that great? I'm actually over the moon with that. There's not one thing there. Well, there was one, the Scar product. I don't think I'd use, but that was the only product I won't really genuinely get a good use out of. And so many of those are going to be good for travel. I'm popping them all back in because I need to go and, I've got a bag that I keep for my travel because we often do short breaks, me and my husband, where we don't pack a big case and we just take our travel luggage on the plane with us. Or, you know, the carry-on luggage, so you have to really minimise what you take, so it's ideal. So there we go. That's everything I got in the Sephora sale and the Cult Beauty sale. I think I've done very well. I'm really pleased. I did save a lot. I haven't written down exactly what I saved, sorry, but I did save 25% on everything I got from both Sephora and Cult Beauty, apart from for some reason that La Prairie foundation, which stayed at 20%, but everything else I got 25% off, so it was a really good saving. Stocking up on lots of favourites such as these, which is really worth doing if you can in these sales. So I'm really pleased we've got the sales like this now in the UK, the Sephora sales anyway. I think Cult Beauty have been doing them for a while. But anyway, what did you pick up in the sale? Did you pick up any of the things that I've just shown you, or are you already a fan of any of them? Before I go, let's just very quickly look at this setting spray and see if it's really held down this blush. So let's do the test. Wow. Wow. Okay, I am being really rough, really rough. That is not shifting. Gosh. That is really good. And also, the surface of my skin just feels really smooth. Same here, it's dried down with no tacky feeling whatsoever. So what that tells me is the blush, just like on my hand, on my face, and everything else, that's there till I go to bed tonight. Wow. Okay, now I see what everyone's talking about. It's got a nice fine mist. It's really holding on strong and it doesn't have a tacky feeling. And it looks really nice. But you know, the winner of everything from today, which I think has made my makeup look really good, is the powder from DANESSA MYRICKS. This powder I think is beautiful. Definitely need to try it against the YSL pink. But anyway, so yeah, please do let me know what you picked up in the sale, and if you've spotted anything in this video that you also wanted to pick up and didn't, or did pick up, or did you pick up a bargain that I didn't, that you think I should have maybe grabbed and I could look out for in the next sale. Any tips? Always welcome. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. I've really enjoyed making this video and I hope you've enjoyed watching it too. And if you have, please do hit the like button and the subscribe button. If you're not subscribed, that would be ever so helpful to me. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so very much for being here at the end of another one of my videos. I really appreciate every single one of you. And I do hope to see you all again for my next video. Take care everybody. Bye.